Hey folks, time once again to do some retro CSS battles. These are daily targets from the past, June 20th, June 21st, and June 22nd of 2024. Let's get right to it. Today, what do I see? I think what I want to do is create this U shape first. Like, that's the first thing I have an impulse to do, and I think it's a border. Well, I give it a height. Border solid white, right? And if I do and then if I you know what, actually, you know what it is? Border, you're gonna think, Joe, what are you doing? Border bottom of this blue. Solid blue, excuse me, 30 pixels. 30 pixels, maybe 20. And then I do a background of a conic gradient, which is at 0, 0, and then has a width of that's less than that, less than whatever it is, 50 pixels, let's call it. And then it's got to have a no, that's probably so at maybe 20 pixels, 80 pixels, and it's transparent. 25%, and then white. That makes a U. Kind of. you can't totally see that that's what it's doing, but that's what it's doing. All right, so let's and I'm going to put a black on the rest of it so I can see it. So this is the weird shape that I've made. So I'm now going to put the proper background here, and then I'm going to move this around using margins, and I'm going to get this correct size. So I'm going to remove the margins from the body and put it here. So I need 4 margin values because 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this number needs to be like 200 or something. And that's where we are now. That number is too much. About 150. And it's a confusing mess right now. That's all right. We'll check it out. Okay, so clearly need to move it over more. So I'm not doing this big block. I'm doing this block. Okay, so a little bit more margin, I think. So that's this margin. 100, 110, 20, 21, 22. Okay, and then increase this, 6, 7, 72. Okay. I'm going to undo this. Oh, I guess I need some kind of a contrasting color there, don't I? Here we go. So this is what I've got. Is that the correct width and the correct height? No, the height is wrong. 120. It's getting close. Let's increase the at value here, 100. And then and then that background width needs to be 100, doesn't it? No, 80. No, 75, something like that. No, 70. There it is. Now I'm going to do this crazy thing. I'm going to set the color on the body to be white. And then I'm going to create a box shadow, which is going to be at, where's it going to be? Minus 100 pixels 0. And that's how I get that block. 105, 110, and that's So that is a way to do that. And let's not put color here instead. There it is. So this is my way of creating this shape. Now, the question is, what can I then do? Well, if I make another one, what happens? So P definitely did not do it this way. Let's do a scale -1. And I get it. There it is. Which, that was my intuition, and it's not too bad. And then what if I translate? Minus, I'm just going to adjust these numbers until they look right. 3, 4, okay, and then 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is. That's very satisfying. I'll admit it's a goofy way to do that. Not the way everyone would do it, but again, the utility of the conic gradient is tremendous. Each one of these could be its own element for sure. This is just kind of my impulse in terms of how to operate things. And I could do a margin here rather than scale and translate. I could change the margins and I think get the same effect. And that scale could be -1 and 1. No, it couldn't actually, because I have to flip it upside down and look on the x-axis. So I definitely need that. That's great. Yeah, didn't think that through. All right, that's a solution. Unit replace, minify, resubmit. And that's a fun one. Yes, I could be using Q values. Yes, I could adjust several other things, but I like that solution a lot for that purpose. And let's see. Yeah, so no other changes that I want to make there. Let's do the nested template here. Actually, no. I'm just going to do everything on the body. So, what do I want here? I'm going to do a conic gradient. I know you're shocked. Conic gradient. I think it's 2 conic gradients. I think. And it's going to be from 180 degrees at like 90%, 40 pixels or something. Yellow, 25%, and then orange. That's how you get that shape. And then you give it a height, right? Call it 0, 0. Oh, and actually it might be just 50% might do it. And then 100% wide, and then 200 pixels tall. No, 100 pixels tall. All right, so that's a start. How about that? Is that 50? And then that is at 95? No, how about 85? 86, 87, 88. Or how about an actual value? 200 pixels. 10, 20, 30, 300, 20, 30, 40, 50. Then what? How do we cover that? We could create an element, but more than likely, another conic gradient is how I feel I ought to do that. Let's do that yellow 0, 75%, and then transparent again, and no trailing comma. And that's how it comes out by default. Let's do at 50%, 100 pixels, and that does it as well. And we submit. That's it. Unit replace, minify, submit. I like it. Pretty great. I enjoy that one a lot as well. All right, and then this guy, definitely want. I just have this impulse to do this all. So I'm going to do a negative margin, -8 at the top. And we're going to create that middle guy first. 2, 3, 2. And then his height is what, 200? No, 180. And his background is this light color. We're going to set this color to be that on the body. And then all I want to do is make box shadows. That's all I want to do. So let's go, let's do the top left one first. -100 pixels, -60 pixels, something like that. 120, 30, 40. 50, 60, 70, 80. And so probably 180 pixels -60 pixels is the next one. Yep. That's another box shadow. And then probably, 0. So this is the bottom middle one. 0 and, was it 50 pixels? 60, 70, 80. Oh, no, it's got to be the height. So 180 and 60, which would be 240. Yeah, 240, there it is. And then another one, which is again going to be -180 pixels, and then down like 100 pixels. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. 180, 180. And then 180 pixels, 180 pixels. And that is a solution to that. Probably could do this with the nested template. Would that work? I kind of want to know. So let's do, so what would it take to do that? Ampersand, star, and kind of yes. So I'm going to kill that element. That's pretty close. So I'm going to do margin 0. Okay, so what do we got there? -140. Like magic. So let's submit that. So that's going to be slightly shorter code. I think it's going to give us 100% as well. I don't know that we're going to have any strange issues. So let's minify and unit replace, and that's our solution. So I started doing a paragraph element, but then I rethought it a little bit. And I think that means that can I remove this height? No, I need, well, I'm going to unset that margin there, and I'm going to remove it and put it to here. Whoa. So I'm going to do -8, 140, 50, 100, almost, 110, 110, 112, 150, 130, 32. By playing with those margins, we get this very similar effect. Interestingly, the VW units that we use here aren't changing, even though we're changing the width of the body. So I don't understand that fully, but I'm not going to try to. Not today. But clearly, there's not an effect that I would expect there. But that's a fun solution. Fun solution to that one for sure. All right, that's great. That's the 20th, 21st, and 22nd of June of 2024. Super fun. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're taking care of yourself. It is rough out there. Be kind to one another, please. And make a web page. Send a friend a web page. It's pretty great. All right. Bye-bye.